Meet Leo, a young man working hard to build a future for himself, one shift at a time. He believes that honesty and hard work are the only things that truly matter. But what happens when his character is put on trial in front of everyone, based on nothing more than a suspicion? We're about to see his world turned upside down by a single unfair accusation. Before we continue the story, we'd love to know where you are watching from. Please let us know in the comments so we can bring more stories that you can connect with. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss our upcoming stories. All right, let's dive in. The lunch rush was like a storm. At the center of it was Leo, standing calm behind the counter of the City Burger restaurant. At 20 years old, Leo was a quiet but dedicated worker. He was quick with orders, polite with customers, and never complained. The noise of shouting orders, sizzling grills, and beeping machines was just the soundtrack to his life right now. He was saving every dollar he could, hoping to one day go to community college and build a life far from the poor neighborhood he grew up in. His manager, Mr. Henderson, was a man who seemed to be permanently stressed. He was in his 50s with a sharp suit and an even sharper way of speaking to his employees. He believed a tight ship was a profitable ship, and he had little patience for mistakes. He often looked at Leo with a sense of distrust, simply because of where Leo lived. He never said it directly, but his tone always suggested he thought Leo was just one bad decision away from trouble. Around 1 o'clock, a woman in an elegant coat and expensive jewelry came to the counter. She was on her phone talking loudly about a business meeting. She seemed distracted and in a hurry. "I'll have the number 3 combo with a diet soda. And make it fast, I'm late," she said to Leo, without even looking up from her phone. "Yes, ma'am. Right away," Leo replied politely. He quickly put her order together. She paid with her credit card, grabbed her bag of food, and rushed out the door, still deep in her phone conversation. As the next customer stepped up, Leo noticed something on the counter. It was a beautiful dark red leather wallet, the woman's wallet. It was thick and clearly expensive. For a moment, Leo thought about shouting after her, but she was already gone, lost in the busy street outside. The restaurant was packed, and leaving the wallet on the counter felt unsafe. He remembered the company policy. Any lost items of value should be immediately secured in the manager's office safe. Leo quickly served the next customer, then signaled to his co-worker Maria that he needed to step away for a second. Holding the wallet carefully, he walked straight to the small office at the back of the restaurant. Mr. Henderson wasn't there. Leo used the key code that all shift leaders knew, opened the small metal safe under the desk, placed the wallet safely inside, and shut the door. He felt relieved. He had done the right thing. He then returned to the counter, and the chaos of the lunch rush continued. About 20 minutes later, the storm broke. The same wealthy woman burst back into the restaurant, her face pale with panic. "My wallet! I left my wallet here!" she announced to everyone. Mr. Henderson immediately came out from the back. "What's the problem, ma'am?" he asked in his most professional voice. "I left my wallet on the counter. It had all my credit cards, my driver's license, and over $500 in cash. One of your employees must have taken it," she said, her voice filled with accusation. Mr. Henderson's eyes scanned the employees. They landed on Leo. His expression turned cold. "You," he said, pointing a finger at Leo. "You were at the counter. Did you see this lady's wallet?" "Yes, sir," Leo said calmly. "She left it on the counter. I put it in the safe in your office so it would be secure." Mr. Henderson scoffed, a disbelieving smirk on his face. "Oh, really? The safe? How convenient. Ma'am, this boy, he's from a pretty rough part of town. I wouldn't be surprised if he saw an opportunity." Leo's heart sank. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Sir, I'm telling the truth. The wallet is in the safe." The woman looked from Mr. Henderson to Leo, her suspicion growing. "Well, let's look in the safe then." Mr. Henderson led the way to the office, with the woman and Leo following. The whole restaurant had gone quiet. Everyone was watching. He dramatically unlocked and opened the safe. It was empty. The wallet was not there. Leo froze. A cold fear washed over him. "What? That's impossible. I put it right here." "The safe is empty," Mr. Henderson announced loudly, turning to face Leo. "So now we know the truth. You took the wallet and you're lying about it. Empty your pockets, now. But I didn't take it, Leo pleaded, his voice trembling. He felt the eyes of every customer and co-worker on him. He was being treated like a criminal. Empty your pockets or I'm calling the police, Mr. Henderson shouted. Humiliated, Leo slowly pulled out his own old, worn-out wallet and his keys. There was nothing else. There's nothing here, Leo said, his voice barely a whisper. You probably stashed it somewhere, Mr. Henderson spat back. That's it. You're fired. Get out. I don't employ thieves at my restaurant. Tears of frustration and shame welled up in Leo's eyes. He had done the right thing, and it had cost him his job and his dignity. He turned to walk away, his world crashing down around him. Excuse me. The voice was quiet, but it cut through the tension like a knife. Everyone turned to look. An older woman, who had been sitting quietly in a corner booth, was now standing. She was dressed simply, but she had an air of calm authority. It was Ms. Albright. She walked slowly towards the manager. My name is Eleanor Albright, she said, her eyes fixed on Mr. Henderson. Before you completely destroy this young man's reputation, don't you think you should check your security cameras? Mr. Henderson looked annoyed. The cameras don't cover my office, and I know what I saw. The safe is empty. But the cameras cover the counter, don't they? Ms. Albright pressed on. They would show what the boy did after he found the wallet. Real evidence is always better than jumping to conclusions, wouldn't you agree? Her tone was so confident, so logical, that Mr. Henderson felt a flicker of doubt. The wealthy customer also looked at him, nodding. She's right. Let's see the footage. With a frustrated sigh, Mr. Henderson led the small group to the monitor that showed the camera feeds. He rewound the footage to the time the woman had left. The entire scene played out in clear, silent video. They saw the woman leave her wallet. They saw Leo pick it up. They saw him look around. And then they saw him walk, not toward the exit, not toward the employee lockers, but directly toward the manager's office. But then they saw something else. Just a minute after Leo left the office, the camera showed Mr. Henderson himself walking into his office. A few moments later, he walked out with something in his hand, which he slipped into his jacket pocket. It was the red leather wallet. A collective gasp went through the room. Ms. Albright turned to Mr. Henderson, her voice dangerously quiet. Manager, what is that in your jacket pocket? Mr. Henderson's face went completely white. He was caught. Speechless, he slowly reached into his pocket and pulled out the red wallet. He had gone into the office, found the wallet in the safe, and taken it himself. He was going to keep the cash and claim the wallet was never found. He had planned to use Leo's background as the perfect cover story. I was going to log it into the system, he stammered, but the lie was weak and pathetic. No, you weren't, Ms. Albright said, her voice now hard as steel. I am a retired police detective. I have seen this 100 times. You saw an opportunity and you tried to blame an innocent kid to cover your own crime. You are the thief here. The wealthy customer snatched her wallet from Mr. Henderson's hand and checked inside. The cash! It's gone! Ms. Albright looked at Mr. Henderson. The cash is probably in your other pocket. Defeated, Mr. Henderson reached into his other pocket and pulled out a wad of bills. The silence in the restaurant was deafening. Mr. Henderson stood there, exposed as a prejudiced man and a common thief. The wealthy customer turned to Leo, her face full of regret. I am so sorry, she said sincerely. I should never have doubted you. Leo just nodded, too overwhelmed to speak. Ms. Albright put a gentle hand on Leo's shoulder. You showed great integrity today, young man. Don't ever let anyone make you feel ashamed of who you are or where you come from. The police were called, but not for Leo. Mr. Henderson was escorted out of the restaurant in handcuffs. The regional manager of City Burger arrived an hour later, apologized personally to Leo, and offered him his job back, along with a promotion to shift leader. Leo accepted. As he stood behind the counter again, the restaurant felt different. The looks from his co-workers were no longer looks of suspicion, but of respect. He had faced a terrible accusation, but he didn't let it break him. He had held on to his honesty, and in the end, the truth had been his greatest defense. And that was the story of Leo, a young man who proved that integrity is more valuable than anyone's opinion. He taught everyone that day that you should never judge a person by their background, but by the content of their character. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever seen someone judged unfairly? What happened? We'd love to hear your thoughts. If this story resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button. It's completely free for you, but it helps our channel a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.